Hey fellow breachers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Pacific Drive. Episode 26, Running the Barricade. Alright, we got 1.2 unstable energy, 5.4 corrupted.
Fresh new
That's pretty
upgrade
good.
waiting for you, driver. Straight out of the oven.
So, first order business, the pearls. And then to pick up the upgrade that Hoppy's given us. Ooh, this one had electronics and circuit boards and stuff. I'm probably going to keep the putty on me because I have some repairs to effect, but everything else can get put away. Oh boy, that is a lot of good stuff out of those two pearls. Could I pick a different steering wheel? Yeah, sure. Let's do the old-fashioned one I just unlocked. So we have an old school and a welded. There's the old school, the welded, and an idiot sticker. Oh, you know what? I might have to give up my horse girl for an idiot sticker. Designated idiot, do not follow me. Yes, correct. Alright, and then for a steering wheel, we have got the high-tech one, the junker, the old school, and the welded. I'm gonna go old school, like I have like a... I don't know. A nutless, gutless Sierra Cutlass. You know, the only real things that took damage were the headlights. And probably the limb shield. From, you know, the slam. Actually, the limb shield was kind of okay. It was pretty well protected from all the adjacent armor panels. There we go. Recharge, refuel, that part's done. So, get the overcharger from Oppie's pneumatotube. And it's an overcharger
What do you
arc
think,
mod.
Francis? It could work. It will work. We don't know anything about the well, but the driver doesn't have to go in completely empty-handed.
You're removing the arc device's limiter and overloading its charge capacity.
Right. So no matter how much energy the car's getting blasted with, the arc will be able to overpower it to open a gateway. It's the only way to extract the driver from whatever's going to happen at the trigger point.
And then we use Allen's suppression technique to keep the whole thing from completely exploding.
Sorry, I cut into the conversation here. I'm just grabbing some scrap metal.
This sounds like a lot.
Arc device mod's looking good. Now you can head out and overcharge it. We'll give you instructions when you're en route.
Okay, that's looking a little worse for wear. My pry bar. Make a new one. The plasma scrapper, I guess it's okay. I might want to back up mag hammer. Because you can't make them out on the road. They're too complicated. So I'm definitely going to want a second one. We did just get our first fragments. I'm going to throw this one out. The first Olympium fragments, which is the really special, difficult to obtain resources to craft some of the best stuff. And we have 6 corrupt energy, so let's take a look. I would like the advanced antenna for more scans, so let's get one. And go to the roof during a lightning storm, because that seems reasonable to me. Can I replay that podcast that got skipped? Sure. It might have Yeah, well, I'll replay it anyway. I'm not sure if it got skipped or if that was the ending. I've only listened to it twice. And I'm just checking off all the red things here. I did check for quirks right before I left last run, but I might have picked up some new ones. That's usually one of the last things I do. So, if you want to replay that, it would be... God, where is it again? I'll just grab it out of the fax machine. Frequency file... Part 5? File 3, Part 2? I think it's this one. The human cost. I don't think you play it like this, though. I forget how to play it after the fact. I think, transfer all... View logbook. No, it's not working, interestingly. Okay, I'll have to find it in my logbook then. I was looking in the wrong spot. Here it is. Oh, yep. No, that it had played through. Reading the dialogue.
Of the witnesses to the Sierra
I could play it again,
disaster
though.
that are still alive, most aren't willing to speak to me. But one eyewitness account remains the most damning report of what happened. Meet Lou Arganza. She was 9 when she last saw her parents alive. You were born in the zone.
Yes. Born and raised in Sierra Town until it wasn't a town anymore.
Lou was evacuated from the zone on February 13th, 1973. Can you share what you remember from that day?
Sure. I was at a week-long wilderness camp. This year, they think my elementary school would put on. They throw the kids into the woods, show us how to pick apart animal droppings and sketch birds, things like that. It was my favorite thing as a kid. But that year, I really didn't want to go. Something called the Limb Fair was coming to Sierra, and I begged my dad to let me stay. He told me I could see it the following year. Well, that obviously didn't happen.
That tape kind of ends abruptly, but that was it. So I just crafted up a new headlights that are reinforced. And the reinforced headlights have a high impact armor rating, which will offer higher armor for adjacent parts. So now the limb shield is pretty well protected, as is the front. They're a little expensive, but in my opinion, pretty worth it. And apparently, the scrap metal that I had above the car disappeared. I don't know what that's about, but I put like 6 stacks up there, and now I don't have 6 stacks up there, so I'm gonna put more back. I think I like drew from it to craft or something. I'm not sure. All right, quirks. Quirk. No quirks. I don't have any quirks. It's refueled. It's repaired. Mostly repaired. I'll give it one quick. And I think what I'm going to do is leave on this paint and decal job for at least one more run. Alright, good enough. So, we are trying to reach the Barricade operating station. Got it. And that would be yonder. The best way to go there, maybe G1, D1 bypass over to here. And then... So I can create a path, or I can do the C5, G1, C5, A9, A2 jump. That is a lot further. There's one other thing I wanted to check. So I got the advanced antenna, so I have more scans. That's a dead end, so I can't go there. Maybe, so I think what I'm going to do is go to these back roads and exit here, unlocking the path, because it will be a little bit faster for me. But I'm going to stabilize these points. Yeah, okay. So we're really not going very far. Actually, I don't really like the modifiers for this, so... we roll that. Oh, I made it so much worse. Barely plugged. I'll re-roll that one more time. Concussive blast, that's okay. It's pretty stormy, but it has a lot of resources. That's fine. Just doesn't have a lot of anchor energy. Okay. Anything else I need to do before I leave? Dumpster, and that's about it. I could also shred the electronics if I really wanted. I generally don't do it just because, like, I'm not that desperate for resources. You know, shredding these things for electronics. I had so many YouTube comments telling me, like, I was missing it. It's like, I don't feel like I was missing it. It's just, I don't know, not super important to me. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I have a lot of putty building up. I suppose, before I leave, I could also check if there's anything else to craft. So I have a lot more energy. So I could get the blueprints for the limb-chipped car and the amp engine. I just don't like them as a personal preference. I guess the mobile workbench would be nice. It raises the level of your workbench so that you can craft more complex tools out on the road. But I don't have Olympium fragments for that. And the other ones are locked until I get that. The anchor energy conversion. Where's that installed again? Oh, that's side. Yeah. I guess, yeah, there's really not much else that I would want to do, even though they're available. Like, I would like the repair station, but I definitely don't have the marsh eggs. So, yeah, let's keep riding. Well, that's not much of a radio station. Look, so we're doing the D1 bypass. The only worry that I have with doing that... Well, these zones are so dangerous. But the danger I have with that is just the complete lack of anchor energy that I'm able to acquire on my way over. So I might want to... I think I'm not going to do the bypass. I'm going to go to G1, collect anchor energy, go to D1, collect anchor energy. Because if I did the bypass, I might not actually have enough anchor energy to make it out at my destination. And that would suck. This is just about the only thing I would want to stop for. Because it's so full of random resources. Well, that was very uneventful, which is kind of a good thing. There's not much strategic resources that I need from the like damp forest biomes, so I'm probably just going to be beelining for the anchor energy and getting out. I don't need to hang out in the easier zones. Oh, there's a lot of anchor energy, though. Cool. So, underground mischief, meaning that there's more underground bollards and the like. And, what was the other condition? Sapping? Battery sapping. Oh, well, that's not fun. As long as I'm driving fast, we won't have sapped batteries, though. Plus, it's windy, that'll help. There she blows. What the hell? Oh! I got hit by a bolt. No, go away. Nasty hobbitses. You can't stick to my car. I have shields. Go away. Are they bolt bunnies? Yeah, they are bolt bunnies. Okay. Time for a nitro-boosted hill climb. Looking pretty steep. Whoa, Jesus. Nitro boost is like gotta be one of my favorite abilities. They're just like, oh, impassable terrain, passable. Ain't no problem, especially paired with off-road wheels. Because I do not stick to roads, as you may have noticed. Hey, Big Brody. Welcome to the stream, dude. Better late than never. Whoa. Just a little bit spinning out. No damage to the car. Sweet. Landed it. I would say, generally speaking, falls, like the one I just took, are what damages your car the most apart from the anomalies. Because, like, it can pop your tires, it can break your windshields, you know. So I avoid jumps as much as I can. Whoa! Battery sapping. My goodness, my car is dry. Oh, I just hit a spike puddle, too. I'll fix it once I'm out of this zone, because the longer I stay in this zone, the more my battery goes to hell. So I want to get out of here. I could drive on one flat, it's not a problem. Now the game does have like run flat tires, sorta, but they don't perform all that well. And they're very late in the research tree, so you don't get them till much later. Puncture-proof tires. Alright. I could also go to... No, that one sucks. Wow. Okay, so to D1. So this will just be a bypass, another highway, and then we'll get to D1 and be able to harvest a little bit more anchor energy. Alright, I popped you, didn't I? Yes, yes I did. Potato Todd, thank you for the sub, man. Hope you're enjoying the off-roading shenanigans. You know what? My engine's steaming. So I gotta fix that too. What happened to you? Busted. Okay. A very technical term that is. You can trust me, I'm a mechanic. Busted is can be fixed with a wrench. And some smashing. There was one other thing I wanted to do, which was, oops, to add a little power to the battery too. So the battery nearly died in the battery sapping zone that we just passed. And now, well, you know what? I'm gonna blowtorch a little bit too. Just give my car a little love. It loves me, so I'm gonna love it back. Blowtorches suck to repair wheels though, so I'm not gonna bother to do it on the wheels. Okay, that's good enough. Wasn't necessary, I just wanted to show the car some love. And now we're off. Oh, what does this zone have? This zone is... Oh no, this is the highway zone. This is nothing. So what I'll try to do while just driving is recharge my batteries as much as I can by driving fast. There is a possibility of getting marsh shakes here though, if there are salamander grottos in this bypass zone. So I'm gonna use some of my coveted power to scan. Box truck. I'll skip it. I don't see any grottos. Maybe there's more up ahead, or some up ahead. I see swamp coral. That's a pretty big cluster of swamp coral too, so I'm gonna stop for that. Don't park in the water because you can hydrolock your car. Always park on land if you can. this was a big old neon reef. Nice. 145. That's a good haul. Marsh eggs and swamp coral are like the things you need a lot of. A lot of the crafting requires, you know, for some of the upgrades and clothing, and it's like, all right, get 400 of it. It's like, oh, that's a lot. The hardest material to obtain in quantities? Explosives, hands down. Explosives are just very difficult to get. And then only second to Olympium fragments. But I would say explosives are harder than Olympium fragments. Explosives are just so annoying to get. So for those that don't know, you get explosives in the deep zone, and they spawn in boxes that explode. And then if the boxes explode, you lose the explosives that were in them. So they're hard to get because you are essentially racing against time. Oh, my lightning rod is busted. You're racing against time to physically get to them before they just go kaput, which is the challenge. Because the deep zones are very, very violent, so the explosives that spawn there get blown up pretty regularly. So any materials made of explosives, like the Liberator Mark II tool, they're barely worth it because of the cost of the explosives themselves. In my opinion. So much cheaper to make a Mark I. Or just don't use Liberator tools.
The train is pulling out the station.
Does putty work on cars and zones? What do you mean? Like on other cars? Like, as in not my car? How about we do some science and find out? Oh, there's a salamander grotto over here. So here's a squire. And as you can see, I can repair the door. So if you are running... or I am gonna crash. The game was like, no, don't repair the squire. Leave this squire alone. I don't know if the crash is repeatable, but maybe that answers your question. And at least we just entered that zone. If it repair squire, then game crash, yeah. Well, we'll see if it happens again. I've had a lot of luck this stream so far. I've had my entire computer have a memcheck crash dump, and that was fun. And then I briefly touched a squire and crashed. Is this a different zone? I feel like no, maybe this is the same. So the conditions here are as follows. We have anomalies associated with low gravity are even more effective, and groundwater is corrosive. Oh, yeah, I probably should have read that before, like, driving through the groundwater. So, I suppose I'm fortunate that time has been reversed. Don't touch me, pickpocket. Wait, did you steal? Is that mine? What did you steal? You didn't... Oh, you stole a mini turbine? I put my shields up. You jerk. Also, that's a really bad anomaly to be creeping up on me. Really bad. Whoa. Those things are like limpet mines. They attach to you and then they go boom. And it hurts them really bad. Okay, so there's swamp coral that way. I don't see any salamander. Oh no, there's a salamander grotto out that way, 250 meters. And one in front of me, two of them in front of me. So we can head that way. If I want more eggs and whatnot. Where was the other? Okay, there they are. I'll be back to that anchor eventually. Must be a really bad song for me not to play it. I mean, I can play it for you if you want. I just don't think it's not a bad song. It just doesn't fit with the theme of the game, in my opinion, but I also fully acknowledge that music is opinionated by its very nature, and I don't hold my opinion about music in particularly high regard, because it's not like I went to school for music theory or anything like that. I know nothings. Nothings about music. So the anchor was there. Where was the other grotto? Driver has veto power over the car's radio. Yeah, usually on road trips. That is a rule that I abide by. Alright, so we got that grotto. Oh, it's back there. For me, on long road trips, I usually listen to podcasts anyway. I feel like music can kind of lull you to sleep, whereas like true crime podcasts will keep you awake. After like a 8-hour drive, you reach your destination, you just sit in the driveway going, I need to know a little more about this. I'll be in soon. I'm gonna stay in the car. It's important. How's my fuel? Terrible. Okay, cool. I'm also slowly dying from other radiation poisoning because this zone where I'm right now is somewhat irradiated. Just a little bit. Just enough to grow me a new limb. It's crazy to think these rusted out wrecks still have somewhat functioning gas tanks. I mean, I know it's fantasy, sci-fi and all, but like, I find it funny. The outer body is completely shredded beyond recognition of the car it used to be. But the gas tank, yeah, it's fine. Nice, we have a full tank. Alright, back to the anchor. And then we'll be out. I have a lot of anchor energy, which is good. Oh my god. What is going on here? Game. Computer. There's not even an error code. I just see the game frozen. I clearly have some driver issues. I've been having issues with my well, no, in this case, I don't know if it's driver. It's weird because having played, well, what did I say, 17 hours and 10 minutes prior to this stream, I never really had the game crash on me. But I now have had the game crash twice. Maybe the dragon skin that I am wearing on the car right now is like cursed. So, yeah. Okay, new plan. I am not gonna resource farm. We're just gunning it. If I'm gonna get through playing this game without losing my sanity, apparently, I'm gonna gun it for the end. I'll make the necessary stops, but the completionist in me will have to turn off for my sanity, because this is the third time I'm entering this zone for the first time. And from the other end of it, too. That's confusing. You've had video card driver problems as well? I've been trying to put off, like, digging into the issues by just patching things. But after this stream, I clearly need to start opening up crash log files and figuring out what the hell is going on, because when my computer at the start of the stream turned off, that was not Pacific Drive doing it. That was my computer going off. And yeah, that's not so cool. Especially not as a streamer.
The rain is asking.
Yo, well, alright, you wanted to hear the song? It's this one that I always turn off. Moxie, thank you for the resub. I like how my car didn't like the song so much that it... Oh, God. That it turned the song off on its own. I didn't touch it. For me to change the song, I'd have to look up the radio and hit X or Z. So even the car was like, you know what? Oh, my right quarter panel just got stolen by a frickin' pickpocket, and I'm not gonna go get it. It's gone. Whatever, it's yours now. Frickin' pickpockets. So I actually don't need the anchor energy from the zone, I think, to be able to get out. I only have 2.2 Klim. I take that back. So if you see this number down here, 2.2 Klim, I know that for me to get out, this gateway requires 3 Klim, so I would like to be at 3 Klim going in there, so that if I need to leave immediately, I am able. move. There's a big pop coming. So now I'm at 3.3, so I have enough to exit. No, stop it. No, stop. Let go. No means no. Yeah, eat limb shield. Bubble gums. Tell Peppermint Butler I don't want to be funneled anymore. Well, to answer you, I updated Windows in my drivers and did a clean install, so like, duh, and also done that. Didn't work. I have an IT degree. It's a personal pet peeve of mine when people tell me like the very basic IT advice. It's like, yeah, but I have numbers after my name. Numbers, oh my god. Well, that doesn't prove my point. I have letters after my name and a degree in it. So, being told to update my drivers is infantilizing. Needlessly infantilizing. Ow! Dang it! They took my lightning rod too? Is it plugged in? You know, that was the first thing I checked. Actually, believe it or not. When, it's been about a week of my computer just randomly turning off, and the first thing I checked was actually, could it be the plugs? Because, you know, any IT person is like, check plugs first. I remember being called when I was like a kid. You know, I was maybe middle school, being called to a neighbor's house because their printer wouldn't turn on, and I kept saying, on the phone, I was like, "Can you make sure it's plugged in?" And I think they were just like insulted that I would even ask that. And when I got there, I saw that the plug was half hanging out, and it was one of those flat plugs that would flush, so you could like nudge it with your foot. So I stood over the printer and went woo, and like nudged the plug with my foot, and the printer turned on, and they were amazed. And then I had to break the news to them that it was not plugged in, and they could have saved me the trip going over to their house by just checking the plug. Yeah. I slowly realized the right thing to ask is instead, is it plugged in? Can you unplug it and plug it back in? Because when people intentionally or like consciously unplug it and plug it back in, they're gonna plug it back in better than they did the first time. You know, leaving it and just like visually confirming, oh yeah, it's plugged in. So, you know, I learned an important lesson there of like, don't ask them if it's plugged in. Instruct them to unplug it and plug it back in, and you usually get better results. Do you have fuel? Sort of. Oh, we got go-kart wheels. Nice. Oh, speaking of explosives, this is an explosives crate. So the reason why it's hard to loot explosives is if you have area of effect anomalies near the explosives crates just explode, and you lose the contents. Which is why I find it so difficult to get explosives. But every now and then you can find the crates. It's not impossible, but to try to obtain like a decent supply of explosives is kind of annoying because there aren't too many of them here in the deep zone. So the opportunity to loot a lot of them doesn't exist. I still have all that scrap metal, don't I? I do. Time to get limb magnets. Hey, Woolen, thank you for the resub. This is going to take a minute. You spent the last month diagnosing your PC, rather than the basic question is it the thermal paste? Yeah, that's that'll happen. I, for one, do not like reapplying thermal paste. It's not even honestly advised that you do it very often because of how annoying the process is to take it off and put it back right and seat everything back and all that. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, probably leave it alone. Because there's a lot of ways to mess that up. So there's 2 gateways in the zone. My fuels, I mean, it's fine. I don't have a ton of fuel right now, but this is the last zone. We're porting back from here. I was hoping to get more strategic resources. What else is going on in this zone? I forget. Concussive blasts and an unrecognized anomaly. Well, that looks like Pripyat? Pripyat. Ooh, we got yet another Year of the Dragon decal. You hadn't replaced it since you built it, so it was basically a powder. Yeah, that'll happen. And also, needless to say, it's an item that like people overlook because it's not sexy, it doesn't have RGB lights or anything. It's not even on a parts list, but if you skimp for like cheap thermal paste, you pay for it in the end, that's for sure. So it's one of those easy things to overlook. No, the problems I have are assuredly driver related. Oops, that's gonna hurt. Oh, here we go. I think that's the anomaly I haven't scanned. Come on, center the screen. So this is the boxes of explosives that, you know, so that's a radiant dredge. And then these are ticking tumblers, which is like boxes of explosives that are just now armed and ready to go boom. Woohoo! I enjoy that. Of course, the tourists are like boxing me in here. And because I'm in the deep zone, anytime I do anything like that, hell breaks loose. Oh, I can't even get out. Hey, move! Oh my god, I'm surrounded by tour buses and tourists. It's like I've stumbled into Yosemite. Get me out! Yeah, once this, I think sometime tomorrow what I'll do is I'll just... Actually, I'm doing solo parenting tomorrow, so maybe not tomorrow, but at some point I'm going to have to just go through all of the Windows events logs and figure out why my computer decides that it's a great time to turn off when I don't want it to. It's probably just a driver. But I've already done a clean install of video, a recent Windows update. So I'm trying to think of other drivers that have updated recently. Besides those, nothing's coming to mind. We'll hit up the last corrupted energy and then bounce out of here. Another explosives crate. Oh, a few of them. That's unusual. In fact, well, I'm actually not getting a lot of explosives out of them. 3 crates and I got 5. I was gonna say, maybe they changed their spawn rate since I last played. Or since I first played. But they still seem pretty uncommon. What's the resource density of this tile? Quite high, actually. So. Almost there. Car's not happy that I keep smashing into things. So these dredges are just... They go around spawning explosive stuff. Don't run into them, or you too will get exploded. I'm gonna do something sketchy. I'm just gonna link the gate even though I'm not near it. And we'll have to time trial our way over. Sometimes it helps to be survival motivated to... Uh-oh. To make it out on time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm gonna hit that. Ouch. My front bumper is threatening to quit. It's fair. But unfortunately, you are not unionized. You're just ionized. So you're forced to work. So now we should have a safer route, or at least quick route, out to the quest zone. And one of the advantages of heading to quest zones is, like, you can't fail at getting home from them. Unlike a normal run that can end up in a... That can end up in like a dead end or something like that. Like, quest zones are always going to allow you to get home, which is... makes them a little easier. Thank you for tuning in to Pacific Drive, which regularly stream live on Twitch, April 26th and April 27th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow drivers.